It's a pleasure being with you again on this show that brings the world right into your living room. Or is it at your fingertips? Well, our main guest today is Murungi, a journalist by training. But fate saw her shift careers and become the sales and marketing director of Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast, Accra. And we have much more on the menu. And this is what we've lined up for you.
This is home, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a fun.
Murungi, the journalist who changed careers to become the sales and marketing director of Kempinski Hotel, Accra. In Kigali, how Kenyan civil engineer Nancy Njagi has positioned herself in Rwanda's fast-growing construction industry. On Kenya to the World, why Kenya's herbal tea is hot in Europe. And on My Magical Kenya, the pleasure and leisure at Elia Springs along Lake Turkana. From a journalist to a marketer in the hospitality sector, let's now roll Murungi's story. I met her in Accra. She had just returned to her workplace following the resumption of international flights. I was received warmly at Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast, Accra. Umefika.
Karibu sana. Salama sana. Oh, sorry.
Murungi has a daunting task to ensure sales are back to normal following the COVID-19 pandemic.
Nicely done. Yeah,
This is it's huge.
Yeah.
But she sounds quite optimistic as she shows me around.
For evening sundowners, so you find that the selection is quite vast.
The restaurant is busy, a sign of things returning to normalcy. As we settle for lunch, I learn that this artwork on a nearby wall was imported from Kenya. It is the work of a Kenyan artist, Michael Soi. Kempinski Hotels currently operates 75-star hotels and residences in 31 countries. The group now has its headquarters in Geneva, but was founded in Berlin in 1897 under a different name. Murungi is among 24,000 people employed by the hotel worldwide. Is not the only Kenyan working here. There is David Musimi, the IT manager, Genevieve Njoki, training manager, and Callistas Shikanga, gym manager. But Callistas was on leave at the time of this production. The current manager, Manish Nambia, who is of Indian origin, was transferred from Kempinski, Nairobi.
This is the bar.
Back to Murungi, the alumnus of Kieni Girls High School, who also holds a Bachelor of Commerce degree from the University of Nairobi, has an interesting journey in the hotel industry.
Started off with the Sarova Hotels, then Hilton, went to Kempinski, then we were not in Kenya, then came back to Hemingway's collection, back to Kempinski, Nairobi, then started hospitality consultancy firm, Hospitality K Consult, which is still in Nairobi and operational, and now I'm here in Accra. Yes.
And for you, it was a total career shift. Yeah. Why? How did that happen?
Well, I'd say, I think more of fate. Sometimes I think the world has a way of shaping your career for you, because at first I thought I wanted to be a journalist, and I worked towards that. But the first opportunity that came was in the hotel industry, that was Sarova Hotels. It was a whole new world to me. At first I thought hotels were about accommodation and meals, but I realized there's a whole operation that goes behind to make the wheel turn. So when I joined the industry, the challenge was worth me staying on. I came on 17th of January this year.
Then
2020,
then
yes.
COVID came.
And landed, of course, like any other new team member, you'd go through the orientation process. You get to understand, first of all, the dynamic market, the people. Before I could settle in, COVID came, and it was going to be a very good year for us in terms of business. And by end of February, we had cancelled almost every big meeting we had in the books.
Reality was setting in.
Reality hit us in a big way.
So how is it now? Are things coming back to normalcy?
Normalcy, I think we'll be talking of a new norm because still travel is very limited. And as you may have experienced, you have to do a COVID test within 72 hours, land in Accra, do a COVID test at the airport. And if you're here for 3 days, then you have to do another one within 72 hours to go back. So you find that the business traveler is a 3-4 day traveler. And all this is really coming in their way of travel.
Exactly what does your job entail, Anne?
The core is getting guests into the hotel, getting corporate contracts signed, getting the market to understand and appreciate the brand, position the brand. But beyond that is also business development. How do you ensure that the business continues, you know?
What is your biggest challenge and how are you coping with that challenge?
Not much. A lot of pepper in food. Whenever you go to a restaurant, there's a lot of pepper. But again, different tastes. You start appreciating and enjoying it as well. The spices were a bit new when I first landed, but now I'm enjoying their food actually, yes.
What would you tell a young person watching you, Anne, and just admiring and saying, I would like to be like Anne Murungi?
Opportunities are out there. It's up to you to go and grab them. But the most important thing is discipline. In whatever career you take, in whatever career path you take, I think the number one thing is discipline. And then be diligent with your work. And then do not fear challenges.
What is your favorite destination in Kenya? Or if you have to make a fresh trip somewhere, where is that?
Chalbi Desert is on my list. I've seen pictures on some of the group travel. There's quite a number of travel groups that have been formed on Facebook, one of it being Wanderlust Diaries, and I always go there to see what Kenyans are exploring. And I saw Chalbi Desert. You'd think someone is in Dubai, so it's on my list. Very well. Anne Murungi's story shows us that passion can indeed take you far, and we all have gifted hands in one way or another. Time now for Kenya to the world. And today, Michael Tsimanji brings us the story of Meru Hubs, a company that exports Kenya's herbal tea, among other products.
Jams, sauces and herbal teas. These are just some of the products flying off the shelves in various stores across the globe. From Japan to Canada, Ireland to Italy, these in-demand products have been repping the 254 for years. And the interesting thing is that all these products originate from one place, Meru Hubs in Tharaka Nithi County.
Meru Hubs is a community-based social enterprise. We grow, we process, and we export organic herbal teas, tropical fruit jams, and tomato-based sauces. We have hibiscus, also known as karkade. Then we also have chamomile, also known as chamomilla. We have lemongrass, known as citronella. And then we have moringa, and we have shell ginger. And then we do blends of all these teas. For the jams, we realized that the same farmers that were growing the herbs had a lot of fruits that would go to waste during peak season. And so to reduce the post-harvest losses, we decided to transform those fruits into jams. Today we have guava jam, we have mango jam, pineapple. We try experiment with every fruit and try and make a jam out of it.
Meru Hubs also specializes in the production of both organic and conventional products. And speaking of organic products, I got to witness the production process firsthand. Since opening its doors, Meru Hubs has been in operation for close to 20 years. But how exactly did they get started?
In 1989, the Catholic Diocese of Meru, in collaboration with the Italian government, started a water project aimed at providing piped water to close to 430 families living in this semi-arid region of Tharaka Nithi.
The person charged with the supervision of this project was none other than Italian missionary Andrew Botta.
By December 89, already the first group of families had the water, and the population, of course, increased, the area increased, and the area of the water became about 50 square kilometer coverage, and from 140 families connected, it went now we are about 2,000 families connected into the irrigation network.
We now had water. We didn't have to wait for the rain. The question was, what do we irrigate, and then to whom do we sell? Our largest market is Europe, Italy, France, Austria, and then we also have Japan. A percentage goes to the Japanese market, United Kingdom, Scotland mainly, and then we have Ireland, a little bit goes to Ireland, and Canada. We have 21 permanent employees, but during peak time we have a lot of hibiscus, we'll have a lot of hubs coming in, and we can have between 25 to almost 50, 75 support staff. It's a huge number, and the best thing about it, it's women. Women are the ones who mostly do the activities, so it gives me a lot of joy because it is something, we create employment for the women in the society. But we've come from very far, and I'm proud of how far we've come.
So, from this to this amazing product that is being enjoyed by thousands all over the globe. And that's Kenya to the world. See you next time.
Thank you, Michael, for that refreshing story from Meru. Time now for a short break. When we return,
kunyorosha, wananyorosha. Eh.
Nancy Njagi, a Kenyan civil engineer making a mark in the fast-growing construction industry in Rwanda. Also ahead, the magic of Elia Springs on the shores of Lake Turkana.
Are you looking to study abroad? Options Education Agency is here for you. With over a decade of experience in applications to reputable Australian and UK universities, we take pride in our services, professional counseling, visa applications, airport pickups, and accommodation arrangements. Visit our offices in Nairobi, the Mall Westlands first floor, or call us on 0724 333 222. Options Education Agency, where your journey begins.
Welcome back. It's Rwanda's turn. We now join Jeremiah Eregai Lopeyok with the story of Nancy Njagi, a Kenyan civil engineer making a mark in the fast-growing Rwanda's construction industry.
You see? So we must reduce from here. We come reducing to the better size.
Engineering is considered a male domain, but engineer Nancy Njagi is among the resilient women who have shattered that stereotype. She has done so not only in her home country Kenya, but also abroad. As a civil engineer, she has cemented her career in Rwanda's fast-growing construction industry and now runs her own company known as High-Tech Innovators.
It's 2 meters, and you can see this is 3.
We met her on site in Kigali, doing what she is known for.
Yeah, so it's forcing you to lift your leg.
As we take a tour of the house she's working on, all hands are on deck. Workers are busy.
We need the ceiling to be smooth, corners to be straight, edges to be straight.
Most striking is that the owner of this house is abroad, in the USA. At some point, Nancy goes into a video call with her client.
That is because I trust you.
Amen.
Tell them.
Nancy has specialized in the finishing stage of construction.
I do the roof structure, and also I can do the wall structures, the I-beam, T-beam, all those I do them.
The girl from Kirinyaga County, who holds a diploma in civil engineering from the Kiambu Institute of Science and Technology, began her career in Kenya by working with the China Roads and Bridges Corporation when they were constructing the Eastern and Northern Bypass. No sooner had she moved to another company then a friend of hers linked her up to an opportunity in Kigali. But it was not all hallelujah, as Nancy's parents were scared at the mention of Rwanda.
They were like, no. It's too far, and also with the background, people think about Rwanda. But afterwards, when I came and explained to him the way the country is, the way peaceful, secure the country is, she felt peaceful.
Call it greener pastures. And according to Nancy, moving to Rwanda has proved to be one of the best decisions in life, as the construction industry here continues to grow.
The apartments, hotels, people want to be in their own homes. Like in 2011, this place didn't have all these houses. And also the bank, they are helping to give the mortgage, like the KCB brought the mortgage. The Equity Bank, also Bank of Kigali and other bank, IADM, they are helping. Most of the people who are like employed to get the loan to build, construct.
The Kenyan engineer is full of praise of Rwanda's systems and the people.
In Rwanda, their system works. People follow the laws here. So we abide. You cannot just do anything. You abide by the laws here, and they work. Everything, the system works very well. When you are a foreigner, they want to learn from you. Not that I've come to know, because like me, I've taught many about my skills, what I know. Even if somebody just coming to work for me, maybe he has just little background on what of the skills he has, I'm able to improve, and most of them, they are able to learn.
But she warns that do not come here with too many expectations.
When you come with the mentality of like getting money, you must be surprised. Because remember, like now when I came here, there were no quantity surveyors. They were like that program was being started. Now they have their own quantity surveyors. You see? Kunyorosha, wananyorosha.
Nancy is daring enough to expand her horizons.
I want to diverse my company. I've already started diversing it, not only in Rwanda. I have opened one in Bujumbura. Yeah, so I just want to diverse in East Africa.
Although they say East or West home is best, Nancy considers Rwanda as her home as well.
Now I'm basically in Rwanda. I've not even have thoughts of going back. For now, basically here. My life, like after college, is in Rwanda. For 10 years, it is in Rwanda. So maybe in future, I would think to go back. But for now, at this moment, I'm settled here.
Nancy was bold enough to venture into a male-dominated sector, the construction industry here in Rwanda. Since her coming to Rwanda, she has been able to achieve tremendous growth, among them opening up her own company.
Thank you, Jeremiah, for that amazing story from Rwanda to Kenya. And we continue with our magical stories from Turkana County. Today, we camp at Elias Springs on the shores of Lake Turkana. Elias Springs is a remote village on the western shore of Lake Turkana in Kenya, near the mouth of River Takwel. It is located 50 kilometers east of Lodwar town. The village, which is named after these local springs, is an important tourist site, attracting those who are keen on adventure tourism. There are a number of resorts here, including Elias Springs Resort, that is owned by a hotelier of Swiss origin, Rolf Glor.
That was a very long dream, because I used to come to Kenya since 1976. And I always wished to come to this side. I have been many times in Loyangalani. So about 10 years ago it happened that I worked in West Pokot, and then I made safaris on weekends. So one time I reached here and I say, wow, this is a paradise.
The resort sits on a 10-acre piece of land.
What we found here is just some ruins and some stones. And I had to find the former owner in Germany so that they could give me the lease.
Rolf's idea was to keep it simple. His resort is known for traditional Turkana bomas, although there are modern accommodation facilities too.
I started with the bomas because I believe that when you go to an area which you don't know, you should look what people do in that area. There must be a reason why they built this kind of houses.
Journalists, scientists, anthropologists, humanitarian workers and government officials are some of the common visitors here, he says.
People from the whole world, they are usually overworked, they are stressed, many people, they don't even see anymore a moon or a bird or something because they are somewhere in cement. So the demand for kind of adventure tourism is rising, I believe, and Turkana is the place to be because here you have nothing else than nature.
Lake Turkana is bordered by Turkana and Marsabit counties, with both sides of the lake having great tourism potential.
Where the missing link is for the Turkana region is the connection between here and Loyangalani. So if there would be a connection between here and Loyangalani, I believe generally tourism in the north, in this northern corner of Kenya, would improve very fast.
Great potential, yes, but the tourism sector here has been grappling with a negative perception about security.
It is the perception, it's not the insecurity. We never had any kind of security issues here.
The current threat is the swelling of the lake, which has in the recent past led to destruction of facilities, like some of the bomas at this resort.
It took 4 of our bomas completely washed away. It spoiled the 2 boats we had, but I'm already planning to build a new, still a boma, but a bit an improved one.
We have 49 edible species of fish.
The Cabinet Secretary for Petroleum and Mining, John Munyes, who hails from Turkana County, is a regular visitor here. He is seeing great untapped potential here. Tourists can enjoy water activities and even boat rides to the beautiful volcanic islands like the famous Central Island.
There's been little effort to grow tourism in this part of the world. And that's why I want to call upon investors. Investors to come and put the money here. We can do hotels, 5-star hotels, on the western and the eastern part of the lake. Fishing is one area. The other one is, of course, the game. You can have water activities like angling. And just across here, we have the sand dunes overseeing the lake. You can ride on the sand dunes. Something you can do in Dubai can be done here.
Indeed, this is a hideout worth including on your bucket list. That was quite relaxing, but I'm not yet done with my magical experiences from Turkana County. I'll bring you more in our next show. And as usual, it is always a pleasure being with you. Today, we brought you stories from Ghana, Rwanda, and Kenya. Until we meet again next time, many thanks for watching.